Hey, what's going on, Bladers? The Crow-sama. So I am finally getting around to talking about the G1 event, the big Extreme Cup tournament that occurred on December 9th and December 10th. Now, the official Beyblade channel hasn't even made any kind of big video about the G1. They made like a kind of teaser-ish. It was more of like a commercial, to be fair. But they haven't actually made anything related to the G1 Extreme Cup tournament, which is kind of weird. I guess maybe it just takes a while to get all the editing done, but I don't know. If you have a pretty big enough staff, I figured the editing probably should have been done by now. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about some of the events that occurred. Now, December 9th, which was a Saturday, was the preliminary, and the people who were selected, which was 512 participants, which is ridiculous. And they're all separated into 4 different blocks, and the top 4 from each block were the ones that's going to be representing the top 16. Now, if you were selected for the preliminaries, you actually got a special invite to an undisclosed location, and that was basically where they held the preliminaries. It was not spectator, friendly. They did have a couple of YouTubers, I think his name's Luna. Basically, some YouTubers can go ahead and just film, but I think they probably limited how much they can film. It looked like a great time though, from what I was seeing. So honestly, I'm so upset that I missed out on this. It could have been probably one of the best Beyblade events I've ever been to in my entire life. But you know what? It is what it is, and I'm pretty sure it was a fun time for everyone. Now, before I proceed, I actually tried to film as much as I could, but as soon as I started filming, there was one of the staff members that came up to me and told me to stop filming. It's kind of weird because of the fact that they're in the rules, in the actual website, it doesn't mention anything about not being able to film. So I don't know what was the staff member's problem. I don't know, maybe someone told him, but yeah, I started filming the actual introductory, the opening ceremony, and he's like, yeah, cut that. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. But I did record a lot of stuff for you guys, so I'm actually not going to just show everything in its full entirety. I'm gonna kind of just break things down because I don't know how the official Beyblade channel is and how Takara Tommy is. I don't want to have a bunch of different B-roll footage kind of just being A-roll at that point and not having some kind of creative input into it, because even though it's me filming, I don't want them to be like, hey, that's our event, and they do a copyright strike or something. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of butcher up the footage. So the location for the final event and all the other activities was at the Ikeburukuro Sunshine City Fountain Square. So this was basically a giant mall over in Tokyo, and it was a pretty nice venue. It was 3 floors, and they had railings, and people can view the actual event from different floors or just from the bottom floor. Honestly, I feel like the venue was a little bit too. It was nice. It was kind of open, but there was a lot of foot traffic. So I kind of wish that they had a venue that was more isolated, to where people who are there for Beyblade are there for Beyblade and not for shopping, and they're just kind of passerbys. I think it would have been better. It just would have made the feel of it being a speculative, arena-based event a little bit more impactful. But because it was in a mall, it kind of felt like a gimmick, like a sideshow event. So it is what it is, but overall, it was still very beautiful. Now, before the event even started, which was about 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. in the morning, there was actually the pre-release, which, guys, the lineup for this was ridiculous. It was over at Toys R Us in the same mall. Thankfully, I didn't have to walk very far from the pre-release to the actual event. But man, I got there at about 7, I want to say. I think I got there about 7:30, and there was already a massive line. Stood there for about an hour and a half, and then at 9 a.m. they actually started lining us up inside the store, gave us a numbered ticket, and bam, we was able to get the Phoenix Wing. And there was about 1,000 tickets from what I heard, so there's basically 1,000 wings floating around right now. Now, after that, they did have the opening ceremony at 10, so really great. They were just kind of talking about the history of Beyblade X, the different products, the different events that occurred beforehand. They did a lot of different promotional showing of the actual anime, the manga, a lot of good stuff that they're just showing off all together. Nothing brand new. They wasn't showing the new character Burn. It wasn't really showing a lot of new information that was released in the Korokoro. So the Korokoro stuff was That's brand new. It wasn't actually at the event, so unfortunately I didn't get any sneak peeks at anything except for just the Phoenix Wing. And then pretty much afterwards was the Beytuber Phoenix Wing battle, and that was phenomenal. I love that, and there's two sessions. There was like the 11 to 12 a.m., 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. session, and I think they chose maybe 4 people during that block. And it was basically random. One of the Beytubers or just one of the staff members would choose someone from the audience. And I was wearing my full Common X, cosplay, and I was kind of banking on that being a way for me to get on that stage. Because like, how cool would it be for a Beytuber to face against a Common X? Unfortunately, that didn't happen. They didn't pick me in the first session, so I was like, you know what, maybe it's fine. Maybe they saved me for the finale, They wanted the big thing to be Common X versus a Beytuber. But the first session, no one won a Phoenix Wing. Everyone lost against the Beytuber that was using a Phoenix Wing. And they actually had sometimes a customized bit. I think they used Tapper for one of theirs, and I think another time they used Ball. I can't really recall because I don't have it on like all my footage. But yeah, it was pretty amazing to see Phoenix destroy everyone that they picked from the audience. And pretty much after that, they actually started going into this top 16 battles. So you started getting to the top 16, and it was just beautiful. It was really amazing. All the participants was just so like charismatic, and they were like cheerful. Especially Moo D, who was just phenomenal every time he went on that stage. Really loved his stage presence. Honestly, the battles were phenomenal. And you get to see a lot of competitive bays that's on that stage. For the most part, I've seen a lot of Shark Edge. I've seen a lot of Drawn Swords, a lot of Hell's Scythe, like the Gold Hell Scythe. And you see a lot of, I think, Knight Shield. So those are like the primary ones that you've seen. I don't think I've ever seen a Leon, I didn't see a Rhino, and I really didn't see any Dronzers. Yeah, so those are like the main ones I did not see at all on the top 16. It was definitely more of like the staples, like the Persona team, and obviously there was a Phoenix Wing because a lot of these participants actually got the Phoenix Wing from the pre-release. So hey, top 16 was using Phoenix Wings. It was ridiculous. And Moody, he had his Phoenix Wing, and he was just annihilating everyone that he was going against. Now, throughout the entire event, there was actually the trial session. So what you can do is you can go to the trial session, and you basically just go and you can play with the Phoenix Wing. So I still had my Phoenix Wing, but I didn't want to use it. I was like, let me keep this in pristine condition as much as possible. So you can actually use a borrowed Phoenix Wing, and you can play against people like that. And one of the people I met the day prior is actually one of the cosplayers. She was phenomenal. She was really awesome, very welcoming. And her and I got to play against each other. She didn't get a Phoenix Wing, but I actually just let her use the Phoenix Wing, the borrowed one. And then one time I used my Phoenix Wing, so that's why it was kind of busted up in the review. But man, it was really awesome to see 2 Phoenix Wings like just go head to head on December 10th, like weeks before it goes on release. So I was really excited for that battle, and it was just a great time overall. And after you do the trial, you actually get this nice little clear file folder. So it's just something that's really nifty. I'm not a clear file folder guy. I don't really collect these, but this one I'm gonna keep because it's just something that's, memorabilia. And you also get 100 Bey points. Now after the top 16 and it goes into the top 8, before we conclude with the top 8, there was actually the second session of the Phoenix Wing Battle Contest. So that was essentially another session of people getting chose from the audience and getting beat by a Phoenix Wing. And sometimes I think there's like 2 people that had their own Phoenix Wing, and they still got beat by the Beytubers. So ridiculous overall, and I was getting really frustrated because I'm super confident, honestly. I'm a very, very confident individual in everything that I do. So in my cosplay, I'm just like, please, just choose me so I can be the first person to beat a Beytuber on this stage and win another Phoenix Wing. And honestly, that second Phoenix Wing, I was gonna do a giveaway. Like that week or last week, I was gonna do a giveaway for that, and I was like, man, that would have been so amazing to do a giveaway for the new channel and everything. Unfortunately, didn't win it, but there was a kid who was right next, like he was in front of me. So when one of the cast members, or one of the cast people was like coming up and choosing someone, they were right there in front of us, and I was like, oh my God, this is the final kid or the final person that's gonna get chosen. I thought they were gonna choose me. They chose the kid. Honestly, I wasn't mad because it's a kid. Like, let him have his chance on the stage. So I was really happy that someone was able to go up there, like very young. They actually chose a few kids, but I was like, you know what? This is for the kids. You know, I was a kid once, and if I was a kid and they kept choosing adults, I'll probably be salty. So really good for them to kind of focus more on the kids. But the kid actually won. The kid beat, I don't remember which Beytuber it was, but he beat the Beytuber, and he was the only person out of like 8 to 10 participants that won a Phoenix Wing. Honestly, it was amazing. And even everyone who lost, they still got I think a BX-14. So I think that's what they got as a prize, just for like being on the stage and participating. So amazing that even if you lost, you still got a Beyblade X product, which is great. And after the second session, it went into the top 8. And let me tell you guys, it was intense. There was a big crowd already crowding around the bottom stage. The second layer of the mall started to get crowded up. People are cheering, and it was just so beautiful to see people going up there. There was kids too, like kids in the top 16 going against adults that have been playing since either the OG or maybe during the Metal Fury era. It was amazing to see so many individuals who just have a burning passion for Beyblade go on that stage and just have enthusiasm and just charisma when it came to the games. So it was great sportsmanship overall. No one was like losing their minds or being salty. It was just a great time. People in the crowds are cheering, and it was like gasp. Like, man, it was so crazy to see like a burst happen. You're like, whoa, like, and I don't know. It's just wonderful to be a part of a community that is really tight knit like that, and everyone was just great about it. Now moving on to the top 3, it was just great battles overall. Like I mentioned, high intensity going. It was just battle after battle after battle, and it was always like usually neck to neck. It wasn't always like this person is just like obviously dominating with the most prevalent meta bays. It was honestly like always a close game, which is just perfect. And lastly, we go into the final match. The final match was just something I absolutely adored. But you know what? For this one, I'm actually just gonna go ahead and show it to you guys.
招待してください。はい。それではルーニーが使用するのがこちら。フェニックスウィング 360T。なるほど。360T。はい。対するレーダー1機が使用するのがこちら。コマンドブレイク。はい。これはすごい対決だ。コマンドブレイクも終了級レアベイブレードです。レアのベイブレード手に入らないやつです。そして。フェニックスウィング、これは発売前、今日先行発売されたばかりのその最新のベイブレード、いずれも超重量級、攻撃力がものすごいベイブレード同士です。テーマビッグの話なので、なるほど。ブレードの強弾性の差が、はい、決勝が決まるそうですね。シュートする力にもよりますが、大体同じようなエリアで起動するような、戦いが予想されますので、バチバチにぶつかり合っていくことが予想されます。皆さん、大きく弾け合うベイ同士の戦い、見逃さないでください。ではでは、準備はいいですか？皆さんも準備はいいですか？参ります。決勝戦、バトル1、レディーセット。3, 2, 1, go show! Yeah. それだけ拮抗した力のぶつかり合いだったということでしょう。いや、最速2ポイントを獲得したブレーダー・ムーディーですが、ブレーダー1機、そんなリード手でもめずという静かなまどろし。さあ、ではお二人が使うセカンドレイ見ていきましょう。
はい、ブレーダー・ムーディーが使用するのがこちら、ヘルズサイズ 960B。
なるほど、いいですね。はい、そして、
はい、対するブレーダー1機が使用するのが、はい、こちら、フェニックスウィング。
なるほど、またしても登場したフェニックスウィング。それもそうでしょう、驚異の勝率じゃないですか、今日。すごいですからね。はい、さあ、またしてもフェニックスウィングが火を吹くのか。上田行きはここにかけて少しのポイントを取り返していきたい。上田の武器を攻め続けることができるのか。参ります。バトル2、レディーセット、いくぜ。3、2、1、ゴーシュー。
ブレーダー2に2ポイント。
すごいですね。どちらのレイも本当に捨て身の攻撃をしないと相手に勝てない。ギリギリの攻め合い、すごい決勝戦だ。すごいぞ。今までで一番なんじゃないかと言えるのに、ここまでまだ決まってもいないのに、すごいバトルだ。
そのゲージが上がっていきますね。
ギャラリーの皆さんも必然的におのずと声が大きくなっているのを感じておりますよ。皆さん、面白いか。面白いだろう。バトルで決まってしまうかもしれない。目が離せない。サードバトルで使うレイ、何ですか。
はい、ブレーダー・ムーディーが使用するのがこちら、コバルトドレイク560。さあ、対するブレーダー1機が使用するのがこちら、ヘルズサイズ 380B。
来ました、どちらもメタルコード、ゴールドとコバルトドレイク、どちらもスピードがアップしております。さて、重量級のレイ同士のぶつかり合い、どちらが次のポイントを獲得するのか、はたまたもうこのまま一気に勝利に突き進むのか。参ります。バトル3、レディーセット。
Go shoot!
いや、すごいよ。なんだろうこれ。さあ、3つのベイブレードが出尽くしたところでまだ試合が始まっておりません。4つ目、5つ目、6つ目までのベイが出る可能性がまだあるよね。あるので、そんなことは言っていいですね。6つ目で決まるんですか。5つ目が、5つ目ですね。はい、ですが、自分がね、どこまで使う、何を先に使っていくのか、今、手元にある3つのベイブレード、どれを先に使っていくのかというところの、ものすごいハイレベルな戦略、そして相手の駆け引き、読み合い、こ 互いにどんなベイを持ってきているか分かってます。どこで使ってくるんだろうかというのを予測しながら自分のオーダーを決めていく、もしくはもう俺のオーダーはこれです、決まりなんだ、これしかありえねえぜっていうゴールデンオーダーを持っての戦いになるのか。さあ、ブレーダー一気、そうですね、苦しみを打ちつけるように、このどのベイを使うのかの選択一つで勝利に一歩近づくように、またまた逆があるのかというところになります。ここはなかなかすんなりと決めきることは難しいです。ベイマックありました。決まった。決まったと感じます。なるほど。そうですね。はい、大丈夫です。はい、それでは2人が選択した4つ目のベイ、教えてください。
はい、上田ムーディが使用するのがこちら、フェニックスウィング。
言いました、フェニックスウィング。
対する上田一輝が使用するのがこちら、コバルトブレイク。
面白い。これはファーストのバトルと同じそういうことね、やはりゴールデンオーダーでいくぞという、そうですね、一番得意なベイを一番に持ってくるんだっていうことですか。さあ、では2人とも、いやー、本当ですよ、次に決まっちゃうかもしれない。目が離せません。目を離してはいけません。最後になるかもしれない重要なバトル4。準備いいですか皆さん、参ります。バトル4、レディーセット、3、2、1、ゴー。
For the G1 Extreme Cup was none other than Moody. He is just a great like sportsman. He had all the proper characteristics of someone who hypes up the audience. We cheered for him. Every time he got on that stage, he was hyping us up, we was hyping him up. And that's just how it should be. That's the perfect embodiment of how a champion should be. Someone who has a burning passion for the craft that he's been working on for years, decades even. He's actually been a part of this whole Beyblade community, I believe since around like 2008 or so. There's a lot of photos circling around. I can't find them right now, but there was photos in the Japanese Beyblade Twitter community of just a compilation of photos of him participating in these top tournaments and winning. So he's just been a part of this for a long time. He loves it. Like, he absolutely loves Beyblade. And I got to, take a picture with him and talk to him for a bit. Really amazing guy. So, man, I was just over the moon just being able to witness everything that went down, because this is the first major Beyblade X event. And I think it's pretty historic, to be honest. This is something that's going to go down in Beyblade history as just a monumental event. So I really hope I can go to another event, not as a spectator, but as a participant. That would just make my day. So hopefully 2024, it's in the books for me, but I know a lot of these things are gonna be lottery based. So I gotta have good luck whenever I'm submitting my name and trying to go there. And unfortunately, I will be in Okinawa pretty much for the next 3 years. So that really sucks. However, you know what? It is what it is. I'm gonna be in Okinawa. I can make the flight from Naha over to either Osaka, Kyoto, or Tokyo, whichever location that the next G2 and G1s are gonna be located in. So if you're gonna be in those areas, I definitely like to hit up with you and just play some Beyblade, chat it up a bit, or you know what, may actually be competing against each other. So bring your A game and I'll bring mine. But other than that, guys, this event was phenomenal. I was so excited for it, and you know, I'm just happy I can go ahead and share at least a little bit of that footage with you guys. So that's it for me. One thing I will ask Al is, what would you like to see from this channel? Would you like to see more vlogs? Would you like to see more coverage, news? Would you want to see more reviews? What kind of reviews? Let me know in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on this video? And just thank you for staying as long as you did with this video. I know it's a very lengthy one, but thank you for staying with me. Other than that, guys, I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.